and you don't know where you're going, or you're with someone that you don't know you trust real well, get a big group of people. You know, you could be on a first date or a second date and you're realizing there's just something not right about this person. They're making you really uncomfortable. Well, that's called your intuition and your instincts, and as we get older, we tend to ignore that. And we think, oh, whatever, you know, our little Jiminy Cricket, we brush them off to the side. That's the worst thing that we can do. Because here's the thing, if something is making you uncomfortable, if you feel like you're in a situation you probably shouldn't be in, or you're in a situation where it's going to end badly, what should you do? Get out of the situation. Not ignore that voice that's telling you, hey Kim, this isn't you need to get out. There's just something wrong with this. We all have met people who have done nothing, they just get a bad vibe, right? There's just something about them that you're like, yeah, you're going to stand there and I'm going to stand here with my group of people and we're just going to be like this all night. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. There are just some people that automatically give off, yeah, I'm not a good person, so here's my vibe. Protecting yourself is the best thing you can do. You know, you have to make yourself #1 priority before you can help anybody else. Because if you're a victim, how are you going to help someone else from becoming a victim? You know, if you're being raped, how are you supposed to help your friends from not, succumbing to the same thing at the same time? So making sure that you're safe allows you to make sure that the people you are with are safe. Other things you can do is, be careful where you're at and what time you're at. Along with the buddy system, if you work really late at night, maybe make sure that someone in your office is walking you out, or call in, all right, I'm in my car, just letting you know everything's okay. Have your cell phone out and ready, or act like you're talking on your cell phone. If you're out somewhere and you're not sure where you're at, you're lost, you know where you need to be, but you're not positive, do not look like you're lost and confused. You can be thinking the whole time, oh my God, I don't know where I'm at, I don't know what I'm doing, where's this place I need to be, but don't look like it. If you walk with your head up high, and your shoulders back, and you're walking with a purpose, and you just kind of look like, this is where I need to be, don't mess with me, because I'm getting to, my point A. People aren't going to mess with you. You look strong. Even if you don't think you are, you look a lot stronger by, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, don't bother me, Instead of being like, that's not the right address, I can't stop in there. And you just look like you're ready to be a victim when you do that. These are just simple things that you can do every day. Walking around like, here, this is me, this is who I am, this is where I'm at. You don't need to mess with me. Let's see, what other tips can I give you? I had one and I just lost it. So, if you're out with friends, and you live by yourself, or even if you have a roommate, whatever. If you're going out somewhere, and maybe it's a first date, or maybe it's a second date, or whatever, it's always good to be like, hey, I'm gonna be here at this time, then I think I'm gonna go out to eat, and then I'll be home maybe, between midnight and 1 o'clock, just so that if something happens and you're missing, they know, all right, you were supposed to go to the movie theater, then to dinner, and then home. These are the addresses. Then you can go and be like, did you see this person? Did you see who they were with? Is there anyone around? This is stuff that you can do to protect yourself not only from rape, but a whole, a whole string of crimes that can happen to you. I know it sounds tedious and like, oh, look at me, I need to depend on someone else. It's actually really smart. When I leave, I still live at home. I graduated from Penn State Harrisburg in December. So I have college roommates. My parents are like, yeah, we get it, you can live here. So but when I'm going out, look, I'm going to be home around 11 o'clock. If I'm going to be any later, I will let you know. So then they at least know, okay, this is where she's at. If she's not home by this time, we have a problem because she's going to call. She's going to send a text message or something. Then they know where to go. I live by TJ Rockwell's. Has everybody ever been there? Yeah. Brine fries are amazing, okay? But there's a bar in there, and the atmosphere is always so much fun, especially in the summer, because there's a huge deck. But the place is big. It's not difficult to kind of get lost in the crowd, especially late on a Friday or Saturday night. So if they know that's where I'm at, they know, okay, well, we're going to talk to the bartender. We're going to talk to the hostess, see if they saw her here. In case something ever happens to you. In case, if you've been drugged and you can't remember. I don't know if I ever made it out of the restaurant. I don't know if it was someone I met at the restaurant. I don't know if, I don't remember. that can be a symptom of not only rape, but of the date rape drug. You know, you're not remembering and having like a fuzzy memory of what happened. If you're out somewhere, you're at a party, you're out at a bar, you're at a restaurant, wherever, and someone offers to get you a drink, watch them the entire time. Because it takes 2 seconds for you to turn my back, put something in your cup, and be like, here you go, have a drink. You're never going to know that there's anything in there. Okay, so these are just little tips that you can take with you that hopefully help somebody. I mean, I'll never know if it actually prevented anything, but my hope is that it helps someone. All right, this would be smart, you know? You tend to feel safer when you know that someone knows where you're at and someone's looking out for you, or knows they should come looking for you if you miss out on something. You know, it makes you feel safer, which then makes you look more confident and relaxed, and then you're able to have fun, you know, instead of sitting there more, great, so that girl from the Y came in and all she did was talk about how everyone's going to rape me. Well, I don't even want to leave my house. No, I don't want to scare you. I don't want you to feel that way. I don't want you to think that you're going to walk on the street and you're going to be attacked. The thing is that this stuff does happen. Doesn't mean it's going to have to be you. And if you do these tips and you're able to realize, okay, so this is what rape is and I shouldn't be ashamed of it, you're better off, even if you do become a victim. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You could have gone and done everything that I just said and still become a victim. It doesn't mean, great, what did I miss? You know, maybe I didn't tell someone. Maybe I didn't say no loud enough. Maybe I didn't push away hard enough. Maybe I should have fought harder. None of that is true. You did what you had to do to survive. Even if that means you just stood there and you took it. You know, I'm just going to take it. It'll be over soon. Fine. That's what you had to do to survive. That doesn't mean you wanted it and that you were a bad person. That doesn't mean any of it. You were a victim. And now we have to help you get better because of it. Do you guys have any questions for me? Go ahead.
Has some of your funding been cut for agencies who help victims?
They might have. I started in January. That was my first. I know very, very little about the finances. I'm still busy with what I do. I'm sure some of it has been cut just because everything is getting cut everywhere. I can't tell you for sure how much has been cut, where it's been cut at. I know none of the agencies are closing that I've talked to, you know, that we work with, as far as that we're all still open and able to provide services to victims. Any other questions? Comments? Concerns? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you talk a little on partner/spouse rape?
Say it one more time.
Like partner/spouse rape?
Yeah, there's actually a law against it. See if that stays there. So just because you're in a relationship with someone and they want to have sex and you say no and they force you to have it, doesn't mean that was consensual sex at all. This happens a lot, again, because we talked about this. 85% of perpetrators are someone that we know. So if you're in a relationship with them, how well do they know you? I mean, chances are, if you're in a relationship with someone, you like them. You know, you're telling them secrets and they're knowing things about you and all that. So if that's true, then they know what buttons to push and they know how to get to you. So just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that your partner has any right to expect you to do something. You have the right to say no. You know, when I talk about healthy relationships, I talk about, you know, what are red flags? And red flags are your partner expecting, you know, something from you. Instead of saying, you know, can we do this? Is this okay? Instead of asking, they expect. Go ahead.
Just a comment. In 1968, in New York, when I called the police because my daughter's father was beating me up, they said, oh, we don't come, that's just domestic.
Yeah, well, times have changed a lot too. If you called and said that, most police stations and most police departments do not take that lightly. That makes them angry because domestic calls are the worst kind of calls that an officer can get because they don't know what they're getting into. They don't know if there is a weapon that's been used. They don't know how many people are involved.
And if he ever says, if I can't have you, nobody else will. That's what they say right before they kill you.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing I tell you. If you're in a relationship where you're ready to get out of it, but you're afraid to get out of it because you think your partner's either going to hurt you or someone else, don't do it in person. We have cell phones. Text them, we're done. Call them, we're done. You know, No, it sounds cliche, like, but we're in a relationship.